Hello, I'm Craig Skibo, and I work in the Visual Studio Extensibility team working on automation, meaning add-ins, macros, object model, and the VSIP group. And one of the things that we like to do is show you how that we can go and integrate your tools into Visual Studio in a nice, simple, easy way. So what we're going to do is show you a little bit how you can go create commands and buttons on toolbars, integrate your tool as a tool window into Visual Studio, and also hit a few other feature areas such as adding items to the task list, opening up web browsers, etc. So let's go take a look at a demo. Okay, so now here we are, we're looking at Visual Studio, and inside Visual Studio I have a few projects loaded up, and one of these is a new sample that we're trying to show, which is called Blogger Engine, and we have a little test program that runs along with it. So I'm going to hit Control F5 to run this, and you can see it's going to build, and what it pops up is a window that allows me to read blogs, and as you can see I have my blog open up here inside of this tool, and it went and navigated to my blog site, and I can open this up and navigate among these, and it will refresh down here. But so this is an external program, and inside Visual Studio it would be a lot better if we can go and read the blogs directly in there rather than having to switch to another app. And so what we've done is, using the extensibility model of Visual Studio, we've built an add-in that will allow you to read blogs within VS. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start a new instance of VS. I'm going to set this startup project and run. And you can see up here we have a new toolbar, and one of the options is VS Blogger, and we have a few other options such as updating feeds within the blog, adding OPML, which is a outline view of different RSS feeds, or I can add a feed directly. And so I'm going to click VS Blogger, and you can see that goes and creates a tool window that is hosted within VS, and I can go and dock this window to other tool windows. And you can see it gets a little tab just like any other tool window. I can move it around. I can dock my command bar to the top of VS. So how did I do this? Well, we use the object model, and I'll open up the add-in file here. And you can see this is the code for an add-in. And what we've done is, using the .NET user control that we use for the blogs, we can take that .NET user control and host it inside of a tool window. So let me find the code that shows you how to do that hosting, and I will try hiding some of these windows to clear up a little bit of space here. So what I used is this create tool window method, which is dte.windows.createToolWindow. And this method will go and take an ActiveX control and host that ActiveX control within a tool window inside of VS. Now, a .NET user control is not a ActiveX control, so we have to use what we call a shim control. And a shim control is just an ActiveX control that knows how to host a .NET user control, and it takes that .NET user control and pastes it onto the ActiveX control. And we do that here with this host user control. So we get this .NET user control here by creating an instance of it and hosting it inside of the ActiveX control. Now we do a little bit more. Here's the method call where we will load up the bitmap. Let's go back real quick here where I can show you that bitmap. The little bitmap that is used for the tab on the tool window, and then we call set tab picture to set what that picture is. A few other things that we do inside this sample is to create items within the task list and hook up to events on that. So if I were to go out and post a new blog entry, that new entry would show up here within the task list. And I can go and double click that item and it would automatically navigate to the correct web page. And we can see capturing that event down here in the task navigated event, where we'll take the task list item that we create and insert it into and open up the web browser from that item. Now we have a few other events here, such as new post, which is fired off by the blog engine and allows us to go and see when a new posting has been made to a specific feed. For example, here's a feed. If I were to add a post, it would fire off that event. And all of this is done within the ActiveX, or the .NET user control, which we host inside the tool window. So there's a few other things we do here. So we have this onConnection method, and inside onConnection we go out and create different commands. And here, so we're creating a command bar. We're calling add name command to add 4 different commands, which correspond to each of the buttons on this command bar. And when each of those commands are clicked, we come down here to the exec code, where we saw where here we create the tool window, or we call off to the .NET user control to create a post, add feeds, or add OPML files. We also allow you to control the visibility of these through a query status method, where here we're saying, for example, the add feed, the update, or the add OPML methods, we say that the command is supported or enabled. So looking down through here, we have a little bit more code. For example, when a feed is updated or beginning to update, we'll go and put text into the status bar at the bottom of the window, indicating that the feed is being updated. So I can come out here, click this, and if you watch really close at the bottom of the window, we'll see that it's updating. So that's about it for this sample. We'll be making the code to this available within the next few days so that you can download it, and we'll have it available on the Visual Studio website at msdn.microsoft.com/vstudio. Thank you. Okay, so now that we've seen an example, I encourage you to go out to the MSDN website for Visual Studio at msdn.microsoft.com/vstudio. And from there you can download a number of samples that we have available showing you how to do a little bit more with vStudio. I also am co-author of a book called Inside Visual Studio, where we talk an awful lot about the object model as well as other features available in vStudio. And you can also visit me at my blog at blogs.msdn.com/Craig Skibo. That's CraigSkibo. Thank you.